So I think my colleagues and I at Rhode Island Progressive Democrats, I mean, we oppose this rate hike for so many reasons. I think for me personally, the main issue is the economic justice angle. You know, a few years ago, they removed the estate tax cap so that, or rather they moved the estate tax, so a handful of the wealthiest families in the state don't have to pay taxes when they pass their wealth onto their children. But all the working and poor and disabled people of the state have to pay more for their buses so that those rich heirs don't have to pay their fair share of taxes. And unfortunately, we have a legislature that's where these rich heirs are overly represented. So I think if it was an issue where they were going to be paying a little bit more on something that they cared about, you wouldn't see them out here protesting, but the legislator would kill it anyway, much quicker and much more easily. So I think the legislature created this loophole, and the legislature needs to fix it. I think it's also an environmental issue. Obviously, if we're worried about climate change, we should want more people to be riding the buses, more people to be using mass transit, not less. And Rhode Island, of course, one of the states that's most in danger of being affected by climate change. You know, and it's also just an urban development issue. If you look at the most successful, most wealthy cities in the country, the places where everybody wants to move, the sort of cities that Rhode Island would like Providence to be more like, places like, oh, just to name a few, you can talk about San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, places where everything is happening. Well, those cities are known for having great mass transit. They're happy to invest heavily in mass transit because it lowers the barriers for entry for people and businesses to come to that community to get started in the economy. You know, so instead of driving people out of the Rhode Island economy, keeping people at their homes, away from local businesses, we should be encouraging that kind of economic activity by supporting the bus system, expanding it, and of course not increasing fare hikes, essentially balancing RIPTA's budget for one more year on the backs of the poorest and most vulnerable people in the state. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. I think there's a lot of good reasons why this is a terrible idea, and I hope that we can be successful in getting it stopped. So thanks again.